to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see them as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Bill Rita, I'm quite confident on this Why Wednesday that worked, and it's Andrew Catania's Heart of Influence, the deal attorney. So of course that worked. Bill Rita, we have some extraordinary people here, as always on an Andrea show, to explore the superpower of integrous influence. Who's here, Bella? Please.
First up on Andrea Catania's impactful business leaders, Heart of Influence, coming from Montreal, Quebec, founder of a psychedelic biotech company in Montreal, the only company in the world that can produce synthetic, naturally isolated, and full-spectrum psilocybin from mushrooms, marketed and branded 7 companies with annual sales over 10 million each, created disruptive products developed in regulated raw dairy, CPG, and cannabis industry. Let's welcome to the show, Adam Cope Arnold.
Thank you.
Hey, you spoke up. And your name is? Bella? Adam? Yeah, I'm sorry, Bella, your audio is cutting out. So Adam, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you. Congratulations on all of your impact and success. And Adam, we kicked this show off asking for a fun fact because Plato, Adam, the Greek philosopher, said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. So it's a headline, not a story, a headline. Got a lot of folks here. So it could sound like, hey, earlier today, I woke up and surfed at 5:30 a.m., which I happen to have done. That's a headline. Could be embarrassing, fun, cute, powerful, whatever, Adam, that would make us say, Adam, no way.
No way.
So Adam, please. Well,
I'll keep it short and sweet. I think I'm the only Canadian lefty on the panel. So how about that? We'll keep it simple.
Canadian lefties on the panel.
Probably
Adam,
the only one.
I love it, brother, and very impressed by the impact and success that you've created. We're coming back, Adam. Bella, Adam's ready. He's got it. Where are we going?
Adam is ready. Next up from Chicago, Illinois, which is kind of close to Quebec, but maybe not, owns an executive search firm since 2006, originally with technical accounting, and in 2017 becoming part of a national franchise recruiting organization, then acquired a 20-year-old legal search in 2020, now placing attorneys as well. 3 employees, along with his partner, integrated technology and reaching a revenue of $3 million this year alone, placing roughly 800 accountants and and about 50 legal partners per year. Let's welcome to the show, Brian Howe.
Brian, that's a mic drop number, dude. Present to the meaning of that. Like, whoa, great job. And your fun fact, please, Brian.
My fun fact is I'm a private pilot, and I'm afraid of heights.
That is awesome. So what I'm hearing is you're not jumping out of your own plane.
No.
Got
And
it.
I don't like to look down when I'm 9,000 feet in the air either.
Not confused, brother. That is super cool. Thanks for being here. Congratulations on all that you're causing. Bella, we got players here. They're making it happen. Adam and Brian, let's go.
They are making it happen, rolling with Adam and Brian from Philadelphia, PA, practicing for 7 years, originally in commercial litigation. Her 5th year now, strictly all aspects of family law in Pennsylvania, drawn in by high emotional excitement, getting every law practice involved, from trust and estates to real estate business and tax, even so much more. Working with athletes, CEOs, federal judges, and high net worth individuals in high conflict, and everything from beginning to end, being present for all the supporting clients' needs during some of the most challenging times of their lives. Let's welcome to the show, Jessica LaBella.
Jessica, another impressive background for sure. Thanks for being here and your fun fact, Jessica.
Hi, everyone. My fun fact is that I'm just about 9 months pregnant with my second baby, and hopefully one day wishing to have 5.
Wow. Jessica, that is definitely a no way. And thanks for being here in month 9 of pregnancy and for all the impact you create for people. So thanks for being here. Jessica, Bella, we got it going on. Jessica wants a basketball team of her own. Let's go.
She wants a basketball team for sure, and rolling with this crew from San Diego, California, an international corporate attorney practicing in New York and in Mexico, bilingual, bicultural, and a dual citizen, focus on mergers and acquisitions, international trade, manufacturing operations in Mexico, and cross-border transactions and investments in general, advise on real estate matters in Mexico and the related acquisition process, including Mexican trusts that are required for foreign ownership of coastal properties in the country. Let's welcome to the show, Laura Nava.
Thank you, thank you. Can you all hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
You got it. Thank you so much for being here and your fun fact.
Thank you, thank you. Well, I'm going to give a longer one. Everybody's give it a shorter one. Mine was a little bit longer. In 2018, I went to Alaska with my dad. We took him on a trip. He was 88 at the time. He's passed away since, and it was part of his bucket list. So we took him on a road trip to Alaska, and me and my 17-year-old son did white water rafting, and we did a flight to the glaciers, which was the most amazing experience in my life. And for him, it was the best because he really wanted to do all those activities. He didn't do the white water rafting.
Multi-generational adventure, Laura. Multi-generational adventure. We're hearing present to it. Beautiful, fun fact. Super cool background. International trade. Making things happen. Laura's here. Bella, come on, Bella.
We got world travelers in the house. And next up from Edgewater, New Jersey, in behavioral health industry, offering all services, including autistic adult and couple care in the industry for 22 years, opening his own agency with only 1 year in, and 10 years ago began helping children develop their services, supporting their needs and guiding them to accelerate, empowering those that seek to empower others. 500 employees, changing the paradigm of every practitioner and patient, going through every challenge they face, serving each individual's needs and possibilities. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Marlon Gray.
Thank you. I will have to say, at first, when I started hearing the introduction, I was like, "Wait, that guy sounds like a pretty cool guy, right?"
And how many employees?
I have 500 plus right now, and still scaling.
Dude, that's extraordinary. Yeah,
thank you.
Congratulations. Awesome.
It's been a great run. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, amazing. And what's your fun fact, please?
Yeah, fun fact is that I never grew up. I think that's my fun fact. People ask me sometimes like what my superpower is, and I believe my superpower is that I actually still believe in superhuman things. I'm still that, 3-year-old in his mind that still wears his cape and pretends that he can fly around a little bit. And I think that it allows me to keep a childlike curiosity about life, but also a childlike appreciation for the simple things. And that has been, I think, my superpower in business. So that's my fun fact.
Awesome. Drop the mic. Great job. And present to it all. Awesome. Bella Rita, we have another Peter Pan in the house. Let's go.
We definitely have another Peter Pan. I was thinking that as he was introducing. Thank you, Dr. Marlin. And next up from New York, New York. There we go. Okay, from New York, New York. Spent the last 9 years at CFO Squad as a contract CFO, 30 years of C-level experience to overseas and support numerous international clients across various industries, most experience in SEC compliance, mergers, acquisitions, project and corporate restructuring, business fairs, and not-for-profit entities. Worked in global entertainment, bringing together Wall Street, corporate sponsors, and audiences on Broadway, in film, television, sports, and management together in large, high-profile events worldwide. Let's welcome to the show, Jay Cardwell.
Thank you. Great to meet you.
Jay, great to have you here, sir. And your fun fact, please.
In school, I studied opera, tap dancing, accounting, and business. And it all came together, producing shows for Broadway, touring Streisand, and now I'm actually, as a CFO officer, doing biotech and curing cancer.
So holy Renaissance man. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Opera, biotech, account. I mean, craziness. Congratulations on
Thank you.
The diversity of your mastery and impact. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Bella, diversity and mastery present amongst the group. And in that man, come on, Belle.
Definitely in that man for sure. That was great, Jay. Thank you for that. And next up from Stevenson, Washington, immunologist, board certified urologist surgeon, and 40 years of drug research and development, experience in formation of strategic alliance, key partnership development, and acquisitions of breakthrough med tech, funding and launching numerous private and public biotech corporations, the current CEO and president of multiple med tech, biotech, and AI public and private companies, and the chief medical, scientific, and tech officer for food, pharmaceutical, and psilocybin companies in the US and Canada. Let's welcome Dr. Marvin Harrison.
Dr. Marvin, this is the Andrew Cattaneo mouthful bio, Heart of Influence, with one main bio after another. Congratulations on all that you're doing and your fun fact.
Take yourself off mute. Dr. Hausman, Marvin, you are on mute.
The man can change where planets are aligned, but cannot find the unmute button. Is that correctly, Dr. Marvin?
You got to unmute. Oh, it might be his headset. We could hear him before.
Well, he's not
I just didn't want to interfere, so I put it on hold.
No, Thank you, Dr. Marvin.
Fun filled fact, I was the doctor for the Playboy Club.
Oh boy. My dad would want your autograph. My dad would want your autograph. That is one additional mic drop moment. And I want to co-author that book. I want to interview you for the book. That's amazing. Bella,
playing tennis at Hugh Hefner's place with Johnny Carson. How's that one?
This is a ridiculous show of super cool humans. I am not confused. It's Andrew's Heart of Influence.
But if they meant nothing in my life, or means more, is leaving a legacy for healthcare. And that's what I'm on now.
Amen.
I mean, my mission now at 83 years old is to reverse the genetic influence that cancer has on the human being.
Well, here's to that. Cheers to that, brother. And thank you for that all the way. And as a blind man anything we could do for genetic dynamic shifting with a genetic disease of retinitis pigmentosa.
Well, artificial intelligence is where we have to go. We can't worry about autonomous driven cars. We have to use artificial intelligence to predict who will develop cancer and how to treat that cancer.
Amen. But my dad, who's 80 as well, he wants to use AI to figure out how to reverse time and go back and join you at the Playboy Club. But I agree. So Bella Frida, let's go.
That is 100% facts, I know. And next up, from Plainfield, New Jersey, opposite of where Doc was just at, because that was not Plainfield, that's for sure. Jeff is a business educator, mentor, coach, a change agent of diversity, working with owners, CEOs, entrepreneurs, and small businesses for 30 years, educating in business acquisitions and joint venture partnership opportunities, growing plans, securing capital, and so much more. He empowers others to align with strategic networking, diversity, and synergistic partnerships. Let's welcome to the show, Jeff Dunn.
Jeff, thank you for joining this extraordinary group and bringing your amazingness present. And Jeff, please, your fun fact.
Well, when I was young, I used to basically see that little picture of draw this animal, draw this picture, and if you do this, you get a scholarship. Well, I drew it, and I got the scholarship. But I was 13. They said, you got the scholarship. I said, okay. So when I started, I said, well, you have to wait till you're 16. I said, 16. So I dropped out like a hot rock, went towards science, didn't find anything, but got another full scholarship with ROTC. And my father said, no, you can't take that. I said, why, Dad? He said, because of Vietnam. Okay. So basically, I got a degree. I went to another school, finished my my business course, and I'm in the business, loving every minute of it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on being an extraordinary human of impact, brilliance, wisdom, and for being here today. And that is definitely part of the wisdom. So thank you. Bella, woof, let's go.
That is extraordinary. And talk about woof for sure, an extraordinary group of human beings. And last but not least, from Nutley, New Jersey, the deal attorney, having led 200 capital market transactions in the past 25 years, taking companies public in 7 different ways. 2 years out of law school, built a multi-million-dollar solo practice from her basement as a single mom with 2 young daughters. Proudly serving for over a decade on the board of the National Investment Banking Association, helping companies get connected to thousands of members and funding sources. Let's welcome to the show, to her show,
Andrea, this is a clown car full of superhumans that you're unloading today. Like, that's what's happening, just one after another, as always with you. And of course, you're the grand poobah of the clown car. Thank you, Andrea. And please, your fun fact, Andrea Cattaneo.
I am a 61-year-old woman who has never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Sorry.
And Andrea, how many push-ups can you do?
In one setting, 85.
85 push-ups, 61-year-old woman going on 30. Amazing, Andrea. Andrea, shall we do the things?
Let's do the things.
I'm going to introduce our other co-host, this woman in her more than 600th episode of more than 800th episode of The Heart of Influence, began her journey of influence selling crafts on her parents' front lawn as an 8-year-old. She progressed to being a 7-figure business generator at the age of 19 in the space of network marketing. That's not easy to do. But then at 24, 25, 26 years old, she was three-peating like Michael Jordan, except at 5'3". It wasn't in basketball, but it was as the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada. 24 years old, she was the first woman ever to be the #1 business broker, but then she did it 3 more times, and she was the youngest person at that ripe young age of 24 to ever do it, period, male or female. She began to train Fortune 500 companies, entrepreneurs in leadership, influence, impact, all the things. And in 2019, every sales team she worked with doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer in the most extreme of conditions, maybe learned how to do that from a YouTuber or maybe from a blind man. philanthropist, raising more than $10 million for charity over the past 2 years with the Unblinded team, published author, and in 2023, this courageous impact playing master publicly battled cancer and won. Let's welcome to the Heart of Influence, that woman that put the heart in it, Bella Verita. Bella, we got heat today. You're bringing the heat. Andrew's bringing the heat. All these folks bringing the heat. And your fun fact, Bella.
Andrew, definitely, and everybody brings the heat. I think I'm gonna have to go with the fun fact of I grew up severely dyslexic. I graduated high school with a 1.7 GPA. And I just read a bunch of very complicated bios with very minimal mistakes in my high dyslexia. And I actually have a 4.0 in ministerial college at the moment. So I am pretty proud of the bios that I read today and where I'm at today, coming from where I came from. So thank you all for the honor and the privilege to get to introduce you all today. And that's my fun fact for today, Sean, because it was a mouthful. I think I need a nap.
You need a nap. Amen. And Bella Verita, from drug dealer to God dealer. That's what this woman was from high school. Amazing. Bella, please, let's do it.
Yes, let's do it. But let me introduce my co-host, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Kelly. There's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He's only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016. And in fact, the state of New Jersey named him one of the New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He built his first law firm, $100,000 in debt in 2 years, built it to 40 people, sold that law firm, and then I think was on drugs enough to start another law firm that he had today with 120 people in that law firm. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins, law conferences, and when he's not busy flying around speaking on stages, he's an incredible philanthropist that has raised nearly $10 million for those in Ukraine in the last 2 years. Let's welcome to the stage, Sean Callagy.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Andrea, Catania, and everybody for being here. I'm going to go with this is my fun fact. Yes, I'm a blind man, but I've taught sighted people, including Bella, to ski, to surf, and to scuba dive in the most extreme of conditions, blizzards, hurricanes, shark-infested waters. And 9 months ago, I'm surfing in Long Beach Island. Bang, I hit a shark. The shark turns around, bites my surfboard. I live to tell about it. Footnote, Long Beach Island, New Jersey is where the shark attacks in 1916 inspired Peter Benchley to write Jaws. And I've surfed there over 200 times in my life. Bella Verita, who's going first? Let's go.
Let's kick this off with Adam today.
Adam, Bella's going to be anybody you want her to be. We're exploring the superpower of integrous influence. We're not talking pitching, hooking, closing. I don't think anybody here is getting closed, hooked, or pitched. But what does it look like when heart-centered, brilliant, sophisticated people come together and a yes should actually happen? How do you do that? What's the magic that's actually in advanced science? That's what we're playing with here in this research and development laboratory of the Heart of Influence as we connect superhumans together. So Bella could be an ideal client. She could be a philanthropic fundraising partner. Heck, she could play somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, whomever, Adam, would make sense for you to be speaking with to go from hello to yes with. Footnote, not Shark Tank, Wolf of Wall Street, or Boiler Room. We're not looking for the ultimate yes in 3 minutes, but instead it could just be a yes for a longer conversation. We are substance over form, Adam. Please, who would you want to be that you're going from hello to yes with? Please, Adam.
I would like Bella to impersonate or embody Dr. Marvin Hausman.
Okay, and Dr. Marvin Hausman, Bella, do you know who that is, or who is that, Adam?
Dr. Marvin Hausman is on the show that was the doctor for the Playboy Bunnies. For the
Oh,
Playboy House.
that doctor. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
That doctor.
That Dr. Marvin Hausman. Amazing. So Bella, yes, this is going to be fascinating. Take us in.
Hello, this is Dr. Marvin.
Dr. Hausman, wow, I can't believe I'm talking to you. What an honor. I know what you've done with out west with Fragile X syndrome and psilocybin. I'm a natural entheogen, classic psychedelic, manufacturer. I'm currently raising 5 million in the US, and I just want to know if you'd like to be an advisor on my scientific board.
Well, it's funny. You didn't know who I
No, no,
was.
no.
And
Bella
am
is
I
you.
allowed to answer, or Bella has to
No,
answer?
Bella is playing you.
Oh, okay. I
After.
didn't know. Okay, I don't know the rules. They didn't send me the rules. Okay.
This is the first time that this has ever happened, Doctor. So you're good, but I'm gonna take on the role play. Unless you would like my job, I'm happy to give it over to you. But it's a lot of work. I do 3 of these shows a day, so I'm not sure if you want that job.
Yeah, but I'd be in Ripley's Believe It or Not if I could become you.
There you go. There you go. Well, Adam, thank you so much. It's an honor, privilege. I am flattered for sure. And, tell me a little bit about, what that looks like, what your research is up to, and why you think I'd be a good advisor on your board.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're based in Montreal. We produce natural entheogens, as mentioned in when Bella Verita introduced me. We're the only company in the world that makes all 3 types of psilocybin synthetic. We grow our own mushrooms and have strain specific, so sort of similar to cannabinoids and full spectrum extracts. We've seeded and funded research at Duke University, Cambridge University, and McGill University in Montreal, my alma mater. Over about $600,000 put into research. And our Cambridge and Duke research was I call it a clinical preclinical trial of one person in Oregon, a woman who had PTSD, and we healed her, very interesting, of PTSD in a month with 5-MeO-DMT, which is the salivary excretion of the Sonoran toad found in Southwest America. We typically make synthetic, so don't worry about sustainability of killing frogs. And right now we are raising money and hopefully doing a direct listing on the NASDAQ in the next 9 months. Of course, I can't promise that. And I'm looking to build out my board. We've gone from R&D phase to operations and collecting, supply and R&D contracts lately. And I'm looking to buttress and firm up the smart side of my business, which is PhDs and doctors with experience. We're looking to expand it to New Jersey. Sean, I think you're in Jersey, but fun fact, again, last week, the health committee in the New Jersey Senate agreed and passed the draft legislation for psilocybin therapy. So I'm looking to, I was raised in New York, live in Montreal, born in Montreal. I'm looking to get back to the East Coast and expand a medical.
So, unfortunately, I got to run at the moment. I can't say yes to being on the board, but what I can say yes to is a longer conversation, see what it is that you're looking for, see if it aligns with my timeline, and we can go from there. How does that sound?
That's amazing. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll talk to you soon.
Adam, great job. I mean, just super impressive. We'll come back to with the feedbackers in a moment, but really impressive, sir, for sure. Bella, Adam, whoa, and who's next?
Definitely. Whoa. Honor and a privilege to play you, Doc. And let's go. Brian is up next.
Brian, please, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
Mr. Kirkland Ellis.
Kirkland Ellis, Bella Verita, take us.
Now, I don't know who that is. Kirkland Ellis.
It's a fictional person that started Kirkland and Ellis.
The real estate conglomerate. Yes, Brian?
One of the largest law firms, yeah.
Got it. All right. Hello, this is Bella.
Bella, this is Brian Howe with Shapiro Legal Search. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm good. So our firm helps law firms merge with other firms. Just wanted to see if there was an opportunity to talk in more detail about some options.
Well, I hadn't really thought about doing any sort of merging. That wasn't on my radar. What made you reach out to me?
Well, I know you guys are a tiny firm, and I've heard on the street that you guys may be looking to be part of a larger firm, and figure I'd reach out and ask the question.
Interesting. And so what what does this process look like? Do you come in and evaluate it? Like, how do I know, for a good firm to merge with another firm?
Yeah, so I just have to get some basic details, and then based on the firm's financials, et cetera, I can kind of talk to you about the clients that we have that are looking to acquire other firms.
Right. I mean, I guess we have a conversation and kind of see where it goes.
Awesome. How does Tuesday at 10 o'clock work?
You left her speechless. Bella, you're just frozen.
Sold.
I think just
That's a
for
yes.
second.
That's a yes.
Am I back?
Yes.
Okay. I'm having internet. We're having a storm here and I'm having quite the internet issues today. But yes, let's definitely have I need to have a little bit more information and we can see where we can go from there.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Good talking.
You too. Great job, Brian. Great job, Adam.
Yeah, and Bella, I think it's
Go
time
ahead.
to get to the feedbackers for Adam and Brian, please.
It is definitely time for the feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. And so it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Adam or Brian, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a score of 1 to 10. Excuse me, actually a little scoring system of like the next step. And so with the next step, would you rather have a root canal versus having a longer conversation? Would you like to maybe go for a cup of coffee to have a little bit of a conversation? Maybe a Capitol Grill private room or a private jet going anywhere, just to have the longest conversation possible. And so, Jessica, let's kick it off with you. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Brian?
I think with Brian, I know he's a private pilot, so I would probably want to take a plane ride to hear a little bit more about how he can identify other law firms that would maybe work with our law firm, get a little bit more of an idea of just what he does and how it works. So yeah, I think he did a great job.
Awesome. Oh, thank you for that, Jessica. And would it be a cup of coffee, maybe a steak seafood tower, in addition to that private jet ride? What do you think?
Yeah, I would probably say maybe a Capitol Grill dinner or something like that, just to get, have a little more time to get some more information.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Great job, Brian. Bella.
Thank you for that, Jessica. Let's go. Dr. Marvin Hausman, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Brian?
You're up again.
Having to unmute. Gotta unmute.
It might have a little lag to it.
We can't hear you, Marvin.
Marvin, we can't hear you.
We can read your lips.
Yeah. So Bella, let's go to somebody
Marvin,
else and we'll come back to Dr. Marvin.
Okay, so let's go, Dr. Marlowe. Now he's unmuted. Dr. Marvin, your 30
Yes.
seconds of feedback for Brian.
Well, as I said to myself, I was talking to myself. I don't know if I'd want to go up in a plane with someone who's afraid of heights. It's just something. I mean, that would. In fact, I gave him. He would have gotten my vote. This is the funniest thing that I've heard today among the whole group here. But I've flown. It's a different world up there. It's like scuba diving, flying on the earth. It's a different environment. It's beautiful up there. And so it would be my pleasure to fly with him one day.
And
Awesome.
so, Dr. Marvin, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Adam?
Well, Adam is amazing. He knew me in Fragile X. I don't know how he knows that, but this is the love of my life. I've been doing consulting work in autism, which is an unmet medical need. I've done a lot of things, and one of the main things I'd like to do is to reverse autism, and I'd like to talk to Adam further.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Marvin, for all that you're standing for in the world, the heart, the wisdom, the reverence.
But I could tell Adam one thing, if I could take 30 seconds more.
20.
We blocked in Italy all the receptors in the brain for psilocybin. It's supposed to be a 5-HT2A receptor. It's supposed to mimic serotonin. Psilocybin still works despite the fact that you block all the receptors for serotonin.
Amazing, and I will connect you absolutely after the show.
So I think we can have things to discuss further.
Yes, for sure.
Huh?
And Bella wants to block all of my receptors. Bella.
Let's go, Dr. Marlin. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Brian?
So I mean, I'm only kind of making an assumption here because everybody has different approaches. I think that the medium that he used to make the communication, whether it's a cold call or what have you, Brian kind of strikes me as a guy that, you know, can kind of pull you off in a corner in person and really, you know, seal you in that way. Brian, you know, you can, you know, if I'm off, just let me know. But it kind of felt like, you know, for the 3 minutes that he had, he didn't really use that time to really keep the conversation, let's say, flowing fluidly. He just kind of was like, hey, kind of very, a little relaxed, I guess, based on, you know, versus the first presentation.
And so what is the next step?
Cup of coffee.
I would.
Mocha chocolate.
I'm a hard sell. You might have to call me back.
Dr.
You
Marlin.
might have to call me again or catch me on the street and pull me into that corner so we could talk a little bit more.
Dr. Marlin's got it. Let's go, Bella.
Dr. Marlin's got it. Sean, your camera's closed. I don't know if that's what you want. Next up, we have Laura. Laura, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Adam?
Okay, for Adam, I thought his information was very well structured. I thought it was really detailed, and I thought it was well presented. I would definitely want to talk further of his research, what his company's doing. I'm fascinated by health and finding ways to solve problems before they happen. I'm totally against curing a disease. I'm about preventing it. And I think the US is a little bit behind on that because we just put a lot of money into curing diabetes instead of preventing it from ever happening. So I thought it was a very good presentation. I would definitely have dinner and talk further about how we could work together.
Outstanding, Dr. Laura. Appreciate that. Yeah, again, great job to both Adam and Brian. Bella, please.
Next up, we got Mr. Jay. Jay, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Brian?
Oh, on Brian, I would part of it is being very, very clear on the influence of your firm over and working with other law firms. I got a little bit confused on how you're bringing those other law firms together. So
cool. A cup of coffee, seafood tower, private jet. What's next, Jay?
I would actually, for me, a cup of coffee. You know.
Cool. Cup of coffee, Bella.
Cup of coffee. Next up, let's go. Mr. Jeff Dunn, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Adam?
Adam was believable. Adam was credible, and I would love to learn more. He seemed like he really cared and really wanted to do not just make money, but really solve the problem, and I was impressed.
Cool. Well, thank you for that, Jeff. Great job. Bella Verita.
Think of that. And then last but not least, Andrea Catania. Dealer's choice. You have 30 seconds of feedback you get to give. Go.
I'm going to give 15 on both. First, I'm going to say, Adam, amazing opening. I loved how you edified the doctor and knew a bit about him before you went into what you were doing. I thought that was fabulous. Could have asked a few more questions, perhaps, to really find out more. That always leads to a more of a discussion, and perhaps you would have gotten a yes more quickly. And with respect to Brian, you had a minute and change left. I think there was more opportunity at the beginning. You had great stuff. You definitely know what you're doing. I felt that you do. And certainty is so important. In the beginning, building a little emotional rapport, asking some questions, and using that time. 3 minutes is a wonderful amount of time to get to something, and you kind of left it there. But hey, I would absolutely have, I would say, seafood tower and mocha chocolate, respectively.
All right. Awesome job, Andrea. And listen, Andrea, you know what time it is. We had Adam and Brian step in courageously to the participant seat. Now Bella Verita likes to put me on the hot seat in some of her crazy scenarios. So Bella Verita, by the way, Andrea, you're my friend, not hers. Let's go.
I don't think so. She texted me earlier. So everybody, phenomenal. This is the time in the show that I get to put my co-host in the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about because I've been cooking them up behind the scenes as the show has been going on. Andrea, ultimately, of course, you get to choose what scenario Sean goes from hello to yes on. You can change anything about my scenarios, or you can scrap them all together and come up with something much, much harder on your own. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
Bring it on.
Okay, so option number one, I have to admit, is a little self-serving because I follow Kendra Wilkinson, I think it is, on, I used to watch her on the show. I follow her on Instagram. She struggles a little bit with like some mental, stuff. Apparently living at the Playboy Mansion wasn't the best for her mental health. I can't imagine why. So option number one is Dr. Marvin. Sean would role play Dr. Marvin, going from Hello to Yes with Kendra Wilkinson to try some psilocybin treatments for her mental health, documented, and then become a life coach helping other people that have struggled with mental illness. So that is option number one. Option number two is I was reading that Jessica, that, she works with individuals in like high conflict and athletes. So I got to thinking, maybe Sean could role play Jessica going from Hello to Yes with LT, otherwise known as Lawrence Taylor, the football player. He was like, doing coke on the sidelines, going from Hello to Yes, and was definitely known for some conflict. But going from Hello to Yes with him on giving up his drug habits and becoming a speaker for DARE to influence kids not to do drugs. So that is option number two. And
You're
then,
amazing.
Yeah, and then option number three is I thought Sean could role play Brian, going from Hello to Yes with Kirkland and Ellis. But I thought the yes that he could be seeking was for them to give up their business litigation practice and become partners with a pro bono law firm that provides services to people in the psilocybin space and the AI space to do pro bono work instead of charging all of their high fees to serve this industry and upcoming startups. So those are my three options I have for you today, Andrea. Any of those tickle your fancy, or do you have something much harder you would like to see?
I'm blown away by your creativity.
I'm telling you.
I'm loving, hold on. By a show of 1, 2, or 3, guys, what are you thinking? Because I have one in mind. I would like a little buy-in. What would you like to hear? 1, 2, or 3? I see a bunch of 2s. We're going with 2, and that was actually my choice. Let's do it. Let's do number 2.
And Andrea, since he put the number 2 up, should we have Dr. Marlin play LT?
Yes.
Dr. Marlin, are you up for playing LT?
Yes, I am.
All right.
Is that how he sounds?
You're going from, you just closed your camera. There you go. So you're
Well, it's very nervous when I close my camera. It is very disruptive. Yes.
I just didn't know if that's what you wanted.
I'm teasing. It's fun. Yes.
So Sean, you're gonna go from Hello to Yes with playing Jessica, going from Hello to Yes with LT on convincing him to give up coke and become a speaker for the DARE program, causing children to get off drugs.
Awesome. Let's go. Mr. Taylor, is Mr. Taylor available?
Yes.
Appreciate that very much. Mr. Taylor, this is Jessica. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time to speak?
What was it about again?
Well, Mr. Taylor, that was what I was going to prompt you. This is the conversation about DARE, and I was actually quite surprised that you accepted the conversation. I'm super grateful, but this is about you becoming a speaker for DARE. Does that ring any bells?
It does a little bit, but you gotta retired football player now. A lot of you're gonna have to refresh me a little bit. I remember the logo, but what does it do?
Yeah, DARE is about keeping kids off of drugs and your support for doing that. And I was just curious of why you accepted the conversation in the first place, if you remember, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, it's been a long battle and journey, as we lightly discussed before, some of the off-field issues that I may have had, and trying to find ways to take my pain and turn it into empowerment for other people. But I'd be lost or lying to say that I'm not a little scared or nervous to how that kind of happens. If
sure.
I would be good.
Yeah, so, well, thank you, Mr. Taylor. And if I could ask you this, and I'm going to keep it to the 3 minutes, and I've got about, 2 minutes to go or so. From Mr. Taylor, what's the mission, vision, purpose from here? Many consider you to be the greatest football player of all time. Some of the challenges that you've experienced off the field are quite legendary. but what's the why, the purpose? Because I'm not here, Mr. Taylor, to tell you how you should live your life. I just want to know what Mr. Lawrence Taylor wants for his life from here, please.
Well, if I could have maybe had a mentor or somebody to help guide me through maybe some of the off-field challenges that people say tarnish my legacy, may not have happened. And I figure with what platform I have left, maybe I could leverage that to help make sure that other people coming up, whether it's from football or any other walk of life, don't fall into the same traps that I did.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Taylor. I'm hearing your heart, your presence. I appreciate that very much. In our final minute or so, can I share a couple of things that may or may not resonate with you?
Please.
Yeah. So, Mr. Taylor, what I would propose is a follow-up conversation to look deeper into this dare piece. But what I'm also present to, because I became acquainted with this gentleman called Sean Callaghy. He knows this other woman, Andrea Cattaneo. And Mr. Callaghy, if you remember, created a show on Extra. You and he were on it. That was the fundraiser for the American Foundation for the Blind. And his heart, quite frankly, Mr. Taylor, as mine does, ached for some of your journey. People want to use you all the time for being LT, but I don't think too many people authentically want to be in support and service of Mr. Lawrence Taylor. So what I propose, Mr. Taylor, is that we'd have a conversation before we even get near a conversation about using you, leveraging you to speak to kids about dare, so I could look good and they could look good. But what if we actually served you and supported you? And I think I have some ideas of what that may look like, but I'm sure it doesn't look like paying you a little bit of money for an appearance fee. It looks like building something constructive, not only for you monetarily, but also for you in terms of your happiness, your joy, your freedom. So, Mr. Taylor, very simply, my question is, how would it resonate with you or not to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation? I'll have Sean Callaghy. I'm pretty certain you remember him. You guys are like on Extra together. It was the American Foundation for the Blind. You opened Helen Keller's time capsule. Celebrity athletes from all over the place were there. You were the featured one, along with Roger Clemens, and have a conversation with him and me about how you might create a deeper purpose that brings some more peace and happiness and even financial abundance to your world. So, Mr. Taylor, what say you, please, sir?
Jessica, thank you. That actually makes me feel like bigger than LT, the football star. That makes me feel like Lawrence Taylor, the person. And I would be very interested in having that conversation.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Taylor. And shall I set that up with ... Out of roll, Marlon, thanks for doing a Dr. Marlon, great job playing LT. How'd I do as Jessica having conversation with LT, please, Dr. Marlon?
I think that, and I was kind of smiling. I was trying to hold my smile back because, you know, when you were talking about it, you led into, you know, who you were, briefly, the purpose of your call, how I would remember and how I would maybe be able to connect to the call before you got, I think, into your ask, you know, because you're really looking for that extra time. You also let me know kind of what's in it for me, you know, outside of the obvious, outside of just money, and you know, things that are connecting to purpose, things that are connecting to elements of my story that you've obviously not only heard in this moment, but you remember from previous conversations. So that's kind of what I kind of took. And I think that once you start having that feeling, it answers the person's feeling of actually being seen or acknowledged or felt, right? And so that is actually what connected with me to a point where I was like, man, listen, can we skip all the role play? Hey, when are you going out to this what is it, the steak dinner or whatever else like that? right. Just take Marlon out now, right? But that's actually how I heard elements of it all throughout the conversation, with a very smooth flow, with good time management along with it as well.
Thank you, Dr. Marlon, and right back at you for how you show up. And all that was really true. I had the privilege of being the host of the American Foundation for the Blind 100th Anniversary Gala. We opened Helen Keller's time capsule. LT was there. Roger Clemens was there. There was actually 15 former professional athletes, I think 8 Hall of Famers and 7 other people that were their team Hall of Famers. It was an incredible night. Lee Steinberg, the actual Jerry Maguire we had there, who's become a dear friend. And every word I said was true. Like, my heart ached for LT. And I was a Jet fan, but great reverence for everything he did for the New York Giants. And his mentor, his coach, Bill Parcells, actually called my mentor, Larry Ennis, an iconic coach in New Jersey history, a mentor of his when my coach Ennis passed away. So this was an interesting scenario where I had, you know, a lot of front row emotion around it. thank you, Dr. Marlin, for playing LT in that scenario and for bringing your wisdom and amazingness here. I'm clear what it means to have 500 people working for you. And the couple of companies I own, I have about 200 employees, and that's an extraordinary mission. I hear the growth, I hear the certainty, and I hear the heart. So thanks for sharing all that today, Dr. Marlin. And overall, sir, how was your time today on Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence?
Oh, I didn't expect anything less. When we connected, at the first event that we met, we had a nice conversation for a while, and another follow-up conversation was really good. So I had it, and you can feel when you're dealing with like-minded individuals, and we have a tendency, I think, to kind of roll with people who kind of give off the same energies. So I think that would have been the expectation, I think, from the gate, and that expectation was definitely met and exceeded today. So thank you.
Appreciate you and inspired by you. Great job. Let's go, Jessica.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for permitting me to play you in this moment. And how was your time today, Jessica, on the Heart of Influence?
I had a great time. I think it's an incredible group. It's nice to meet with people from all different aspects. A lot of times when you do networking events, you're cornered into lawyer networking events and, other people in the same industry. And it's really great to expand that to other people that you really would not have any opportunity to be in a small, intimate group and, hear stories, get a little bit of their personality. So I really enjoy this setting. I like that it's small. I like their, everyone can kind of be themselves, and it crosses, way more industries than you would really be able to hit otherwise at any other type of event.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Appreciate you, and your mastery is fully felt and received. Thank you. Jay, thank you for being here today, providing your feedback, your wisdom. And please, Jay, how was your time on Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence?
I had a great time meeting Andrea, and it was when I'm in the crossroads of my career, only for the fact that I've gone from producing some of the largest international shows and promoted shows around the world, from doing taxes as a kid for Anheuser-Busch and the family, to now, over 9 years of representing and being a chief financial officer for both mining companies to biotech companies. But where I'm at the crossroads now, I'm leaving the firm to basically head up one biotech company that has uncovered a cure to tumorous cancers and going into their human trials. And so all of a sudden, I'm going to be focusing all my time, instead of 14 clients and a staff of 40 people, to one company and helping lead an inventor forward on his quest to making this a reality. So it's a major shift in my own, quandary, and I've survived cancer twice. So it's my own, focus to make this a reality for other people, but to be in a room of great technology and great medicine people and working with that. So this is where meeting Andrea, I think, came at a great time, and it's a full force going forward here. So
awesome. Well, Jay, thank you. I mean, oh my God, if this comes true. So thank you, and we wish you all of the absolute best for your journey and for humanity. Incredible. Thank you, Adam. Great job in the participant seat, for wonderful energy, and again, your impact, your success, your acceleration, fully felt and received. Thanks for being here today, Adam. And how was your time on Andrea's Heart of Influence?
It was great. I didn't know what I was getting into, but it was a lot of fun. Everyone is really energetic as an extrovert. I love it. I didn't know how many biotech people would be here. This is fantastic meeting everyone, from Jay to Marvin, everyone else. So not random. And a reverse fun fact is my mom had 2 kids when she went to law school too. So there's a lot in common with a couple people here. And she's still working at 76. So she has her own firm in Westchester. So, I'd love to be involved in the future. This was really fun. I love pitching, sharpening my stone. I'm out raising 5 million. So this kind of, imaginative pitch really helps. Loved it.
Yeah. Awesome. Great job, brother, for sure. And we wish you all the best in the journey, and look forward to the future. And Dr. Marvin, thanks for being here. Johnny Carson, I mean, Hugh Hefner craziness, but the impact and desire to serve people and humanity came screaming through. So thank you for that. And please, Dr. Marvin, how was your experience with us today?
Well, I want to thank Andrea for inviting me, but I'm a people person. I'm open. You always can go through a door, and you can always close the door behind you. I'm just open to meeting people and hearing the different ideas and dissemination of information. And it was wonderful, and I really enjoyed this program today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Marvin. You brought a tremendous amount of value and wisdom. Thank you. Bella Verita, we have some other extraordinary people. Please.
We do have some extraordinary people. Let's kick it off. The other participant, not always easy in the participant seat, afraid of heights, but flying planes. Brian, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence?
Good, impressive group. As my wife says, I use as few words as possible, and good times.
Oh, wait, excuse me for saying this. My wife says I speak in paragraphs.
And we may have received. Oh, yes, Dr. Marvin, thank you. Brian.
I should learn from you.
That's what we're here to do. And Brian, incredibly impressive. The track record that you have, present in the meaning of it all and the numbers, and great job today. So thank you, Brian.
And Brian, I'm also actually terrified of heights, but interested in getting a pilot's license because my 15-year-old son is interested as well. So I was going to actually take that with him as a bonding experience.
That is
nice. Yeah.
So you might have to tap you someday.
Let's go, Laura. Laura, how was your time with us on the Heart of Influence today with Andrea Catania and everyone?
Thank you. It was very interesting, very much fun. I know Andrea from my law firm. She used to be here at Shepherd Mullen, so it was great knowing her then, and it's fabulous to stay in touch. It's a great group of people. Everybody has a very impressive experience and what they've done and what all the accomplishments. So I'm very happy to have been a participant as a judge. So thank you, and very nice to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you, Laura. And talking about and Laura, you do international law with Mexico, correct?
You need to introduce her to Diego.
Yeah, so Diego Ibarra, I was on the phone with him today.
I tried to invite him.
He's in our Unblinded program. He's the president of iHeartRadio Mexico. And we're having a conversation today about Mexican elections and all the things. And so thank you for being here today. Bella Verita.
Let's go. Getting sports scholarships, but not taking sports scholarships. All kinds of craziness. Jeff, how was your time with us on the Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence?
It was very interesting. I enjoyed listening to the stories and hearing about the victories and the challenges and the ambitions. So it was very interesting.
Thank you for that and being here today. Awesome job. And does that bring us to our illustrious executive producer, Bella Verita?
It does.
Andrea Catania, I mean, you just outdo yourself time after time of assembling extraordinary people who've created extraordinary impact and are on the way to more. So thank you, Andrea. I mean, we're curing diseases. It's crazy, the space today. Thank you for that. And please, your final.
All business is built on relationships. And I know of no other shared experience, which is how you start a relationship, that is better, more fun, more energized, and more efficient than this beautiful platform that you created. And I'm delighted to invite people to this show because I know they're going to get value, they're going to meet amazing people, and they're going to learn about integrity-based human influence from masters. So thank you.
Thank you, Andrea Catania. And as a value add for you, as a thank you to Andrea. And this is fun because this is a group of incredibly sophisticated people. We have 3 gifts for you, and we would not embarrass ourselves giving you gifts that weren't extraordinarily valuable. First, next Wednesday at 8 a.m. Eastern, we're going to have 80, 90, 100 entrepreneurs, people on the show, people from the Unblinded ecosystem, people like Andrea yourselves, that will be exploring the acceleration of the superpower of influence. I do a training, we drop into groups, you meet people, you work on things, little wax on, wax off, Karate Kid style, but of profound truth and value. Number 1. Number 2, we have a group influence book. A lot of people have written about public speaking, management, leadership. This book, we will put against any book in the world, And with your sophistication levels, read it, check it out, do the exercise in the chapters, and please tell us if it's not the top book you've ever read about group influence. And third, a business acceleration session is offered to everybody here. If that resonates with you, you will not be sold anything during that session, but that session we fancy as the greatest hour you could have ever spent to advance your missions, visions, and purposes. Greatest hour. If you ever had a better hour, please tell us who it was with, because we want to pay them to learn from them. Thank you. Those are our gifts on behalf of Andrea and Unblinded. Thank you very much. Bella, final.
Final is Andrea. I do say, one of your best shows ever. Incredible individuals. It was an honor and a privilege to serve each one of you. Definitely stay connected, because there seems to be a lot of connectivity here, and definitely check out the book, because when I came in, I sat in the seat of Adam and Brian. I had already had 2.5 decades of sales. I had built a couple multi-million-dollar companies, and I thought I knew everything there was to know about sales. And what I learned in that book when it came to sales with influential people such as yourselves was absolutely mind-blowing, and what it causes in the world, like maybe causing LT to speak on drug awareness instead, is extraordinary. So definitely download that book. Definitely have a conversation with someone on our team, because you never know what we could do together. So thank you all for being here. And Sean, back to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, everybody. Incredible work. We end every Heart of Influence by saying this: I may be physically blind, which I am, can't see anything in front of me, but I believe that no matter how sophisticated, how brilliant, how much people have accomplished, at some level, the next level we all desire in our hearts or souls, whether that be financial or impact or connecting, whatever it is so often right in front of us, those access vectors. But at some level, every single one of us, Belfry to Andrew Catania, at some level, as to those dynamics, we're all blind
and learning to see.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Great job. Thank you, everybody.